The cables are in the way, that's why I can't close it.
Is there a game going on? Oh, it's a scrim.
Yeah, they said they were going to have some fun games going.
Well, I'll go ahead and play this scrim so we keep yabbering. Someone said RPG on PS1 came out at the same time as Final Fantasy VII. Treasure Cruise is at Wano. It is at Wano. I remember. I believe Treasure Cruise was the One Piece game where One Piece Wano didn't finish and they had to make up the ending. So, keep that in mind whenever you play. There is no, like, Bartholomew does not come back, I will say.
I enjoy RPGs. It's when you, like, I would much rather play a story line on an RPG than comparative, when you can have, like, combat modes.
You like Pokemon?
No, I stopped after Gen 3. After Gen 3, Pokemon became stupid. They came up with the most ridiculous, obnoxious, annoying, insane Pokemon. Why isn't Ice Cream Cone a Pokemon? Why is Chandelier a
Vanilluxe is
Pokemon?
awesome, and Chandelure is
stupid.
awesome too.
No, that's dumb. That's the most ridiculous thing ever.
I'm sorry, would you rather the Seedot, an actual seed, a dark type, grass type from Generation 3? You're talking about Hoenn, right? Generation 3, movies.
Who are you talking about?
Seedot.
Sita. Who's Sita?
I got this. I'm gonna Google
Pull
up.
it up. Let me see this picture real quick. Because... Okay, he's not Generation 3.
I believe he is Generation 3. Hoenn. I think it's you. Seedot Nuzleaf, so real. Let me go on Bulbapedia, my favorite site. Introduced in Generation 3.
Okay.
Right.
So here's my thing.
I know my Pokemon.
Okay, but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I watched you kick someone on stream.
Well, all right. There's an introduction for you.
Someone said I got it.
Okay, so who does Seedot evolve into? That's my question.
Nuzleaf and then Shiftry.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so I'll give Seedot on that one simply because of what he evolves into. It's a precursor. It's not like he's, you know, an actual tree or an actual anything like in that regards. An ice cream cone is not a natural occurring
I will agree.
thing. A chandelier is not a natural occurring thing. A seed is a naturally occurring thing. Pokemon should be based on naturally occurring things, not man-made objects that suddenly become Pokemon.
I see. So what are your thoughts on Onyx? The Gen 1 rock Pokemon, where he's just a line of rocks.
He's a rock snake, actually. Thank you.
And are those...
And he would fall in the same line as a Geodude or a Graveler or a Golem.
I see. I love the bread
Again, naturally occurring things, not man-made things.
That does rack my brain a bit. I'm trying to think of something. What's your thoughts on Voltorb?
On who?
Voltorb.
Okay, so Voltorb is an interesting thing because I've heard a lot of like the background, you know, possibilities of how Voltorb became a thing. A lot of people would suspect that a ghostly ended up merging with a Pokeball. And you know, there's a lot of, you know, fan fiction about that stuff. But here's the thing though. Voltorb though is while it's not a naturally made thing, it's also not a man-made thing. It could be considered a naturally made thing as a ball of electric energy. I think it is a little bit of a reach. But at the same time, it's also not a obviously man-made thing.
But I believe that it is an obviously man-made thing, because you find Voltorbs only in the power plant, a factory type thing. And the whole thing about Haunter cursing a Pokeball for it to be Voltorb, I think that rocks. But I think more of it's only found in a factory makes it more man.
But that's the thing, though. It's attracted to the electricity of electrical plants.
I see. Oh, Porygon. There's a Porygon. The one you find in the lab is like a
Okay, yeah. But that's the thing, though. Porygon has also been admittedly a man-made Pokemon. That's the thing. Its whole backstory is the fact that it's not a natural Pokemon. It was a man-made digital Pokemon. So you really can't argue that one because it tells its own story of being a man-made Pokemon.
I will say, I love Pokemon. I'm gonna catch up on the chat real
Give me generations 1 through 3, I'm good. But once you get beyond that, I feel like they're stretching and they're reaching for so many things that it just gets redundant and it gets overly repetitive, honestly. These constant legendary Pokemon, one superseding the other. Oh, how far are you going to go before you're just going to say, this one is literally the god of all creation? Oh, wait, they did that.
With Arceus.
And I'm just like, seriously.
Are you talking about Klefki, Moist Baby? From Generation X and Y. I'm sorry, Generation 7. Hold on, let me...
The inanimate Pokemon?
Yeah.
Is that the one you're talking about, the Klefki?
Mm-hmm.
What is the Klefki?
It's from Generation 7. It's keys. See,
I'm about to have an aneurysm with the thought process of that right now.
I will say that Generation 2 was my favorite generation.
Which one?
Generation 2.
See, I'm a Gen 1 through and through.
I
Like
hate
Farfetch'd,
Gen 1.
I love Farfetch'd. Because you don't know why? Because in Generation 1, they had real, relatable, true stories. Like Farfetch'd specifically isn't it one? He's an endangered species because he was hunted because he was a tasty delicacy. He's basically like a duck, which is an amazing food, by the way. And I love Magnemite so
The Forsaken
true.
Senpai makes a good point.
Okay, Magnemite, I'll give you Magnemite. He is a very good Magnemite and Magneton. They are man-made objects, and I agree with you that is a far reach, but they're also the only real man-made objects within Generation 1. Whereas in later generations, they become more abundant.